Hello children, we are back again with another lesson in EVS 1, a look inside the body. Children, have you ever thought about how we walk, jump, smell, breathe, or even feel? All these are possible because of certain organs. Now let us see what is an organ. A part of the body that is used to perform a certain function is called an organ. Now, organs on the outside of our body are called external organs. Example, ears, nose, arms, tongue, etc., as we can see it easily. Now, what are sensory organs? Yes, you all have learnt. Organs that make us aware of the situation around us are called sensory organs. For example, our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and our skin. The organs that are situated inside the body are called internal organs, and we cannot see it from outside. Now, if you know children, there are many functions going on inside our body. Let us see what are they. If you can see in this picture, inside the body, there is a network of blood vessels which is spread throughout. Now you can see these red lines. Yes, these are the blood vessels inside our body. Blood vessels are thin tubes inside the body through which the blood flows continuously. Now, the air that we breathe is carried to all parts of the body through our blood vessels. Let us learn in detail a few things about the internal organs and the functions inside the body. Special places for internal organs. There are many organs inside our body and each have certain functions to perform. Now, like you can see in this picture, our organs have special places inside the body so that they are safe and remain in their places no matter how much we move. Now, there are hollow spaces for these organs inside the head and the torso called as cavities. Now, hollow spaces means, in simple words, empty space. The cavity inside the head is called the cranial cavity. Now, the cavity in the torso, like you can see in the picture, has three parts. The cavity which is in the chest is called the thoracic cavity, and the cavity in our abdomen has two parts, the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity. All the internal organs of the body are situated in these cavities. Esophagus. Let us see what is it. We eat food from our mouth and it reaches our stomach. Now, do you know how does the food from the mouth reach the stomach? There is a tube from the mouth to the stomach to transport food. Now, this is called the esophagus or gullet. In simple words, esophagus means food pipe. We eat food from our mouth. Now, as we chew it, our saliva, which is the spit in our mouth, it mixes with the food that we eat, due to which the food forms a moist ball which makes it very easy to swallow the food. This food then passes to the throat into the esophagus. Now, the wall of the esophagus, that is the food pipe, is very flexible like you can see in this video. Now, because of which it becomes easy for the food to reach the stomach. Let us learn about our heart. When you put your hand on your chest, you hear a thud thud. What is inside? Yes, it is the heart. It is an important internal organ. It is situated a little to the left of the center of the thoracic cavity. Now, the walls of the heart too are flexible. The function of the heart is to keep the blood flowing as there is blood in our body. Let us see how it carries out the function. The heart contracts, which means it becomes smaller, and the heart relaxes, which means it returns to its original size. Now, this happens alternately without stopping. When it contracts, the blood in the heart is pushed into the blood vessels. A contraction of the heart is called a heartbeat. Now, if you place your palm a little to the left of the center of your chest, you can feel your heartbeat. Now, make your hand into a fist. That is how large your heart is. There is another place where you can feel the heartbeats. It is at your wrist. Now, if you place your fingers there, you can feel it. This is called feeling the pulse. This is because at the wrist there is a blood vessel that flows very close to the skin. This is mainly done by a doctor to feel our pulse. Now let us learn about our lungs. Our body needs oxygen which comes from the air, and we breathe in this air through our nose. The internal organs through which this air is supplied to the body are called lungs. Now we have two lungs, one on the right and the other on the left, and the heart is between the lungs a little to the left. The lung on the left is slightly smaller than the lung on the right because the heart is on the left side. The lungs are connected to the nose through a pipe-like internal organ which is called the windpipe. This windpipe separates into two branches which is called a bronchus. Our chest swells up when we breathe in. This is because when we breathe in air, our lungs expand. The heart and the lungs are very important for our body, and they both are situated in the thoracic cavity. Now, there is a cage made of bones that protects these two organs. It is called a rib cage. It keeps the heart and lungs safe and secure. Brain. In our body, the brain is situated in the head. It is a very important internal organ which is situated in the cranial cavity. Now, the brain is the one that controls all the other body parts and all that we do. Now, the brain does so many things, like it helps us to remember, think, and understand the world around us. Now, the brain is very important and so it needs protection. If you tap your head, you can feel something hard. Yes, it is the skull. The skull protects the brain from things that hits it. If injury is caused to the brain, it can make one disabled for life or can even cause death. Do you know? When we learn a poem, it is registered in the brain. That is why we can remember it. This work of remembering is called memory. The structure of our body is very complex. There are large number of organs inside our body which help it to perform all its functions smoothly. I hope you children understood the lesson as we learnt in detail about some of our internal organs. Fill in the blanks. The internal organs that help digest food are the mouth and the stomach. We have two lungs. Every throbbing of the heart is called a heartbeat. We become aware of all our emotions in the brain. The structure of the human body is very complex. State whether it is true or false. The esophagus is in the thoracic cavity. True. The heart is little bigger than our fist. True. The food in the mouth forms a moist lump. True. In the brain, we interpret the information collected by the sensory organs. True. Answer the following. What is meant by internal organs? The organs present inside the body and those which cannot be seen from outside are called internal organs. Name the two cavities in the abdomen. The abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity are the two cavities in the abdomen. Which important organs are situated in the rib cage in the thoracic cavity? The heart and the lungs are situated in the rib cage in the thoracic cavity. Why does the chest swell when we breathe in? When we breathe in, the lungs expand a little. That is why the chest swells when we breathe in. Why is the brain situated in the casing of the skull? The brain is situated in the casing of the skull so that it is totally protected.